Yo, what is going on? Welcome to another edition of On Tap. It is 12:10 on the East Coast. It is a Sunday, and we just got done watching a incredible game where the Buffalo Bills advance. Not like anything's gonna happen once they meet the juggernaut that is Kansas City, or even for that matter, if for some reason the Browns do pull it off. Bills do suck, and you know my hatred for the Bills as a lifelong Miami Dolphin fan. If you're new here, please do subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. We talk everything when it comes to sports. So welcome. I really want to get into right off the bat as far as football for tomorrow, and that's the Browns, versus the Chiefs. Let's start there. And the Cleveland Browns, right? The Cleveland Browns, they're on the rise. They're definitely on the rise. Give the devil its due here. They're on the rise, and they made history last week with a playoff win. Playoff freaking win. It seems like they finally have an exciting quarterback in Baker Mayfield and an identity built around a dynamic duo of running backs. And give Baker Mayfield credit. He has had a couple of new coaches, recently had coaches. This head coach that he has now seems like he knows what he's doing. Actually, even more props, I guess, if you want to. It depends how you feel about a coach. Some feel that a coach is really not, as important or not that big of a deal as others make it out to be. I think coaching is very important. They actually won without their coach being there last week, who's COVID. But listen, the Browns have an identity that's built around a dynamic duel of running backs. They showed last week that they're opportunistic and that their playoff stage is no longer too big for them. Here's the thing. Unfortunately for them, that dream may end tomorrow, or may end today, actually. Sunday. The Chiefs are well rested, and while not totally healthy, still have enough key pieces to play the game that they want to play. I still think Reed and Mahomes are going to do some things we haven't seen all season as they go on a run or two that puts this game out of reach. Watch for Kelsey to dominate. Mecole to get lost for a big play, and Frank Clark and Tyrann Mathieu to lead a defensive effort that is better than most expect, right? Listen, the Browns are a good running team with a stellar offensive line, strong, play action passing game. You could definitely say that. Unfortunately, all those elements can be taken away by scoring early and often. Everything that Patrick Mahomes and company do well on offense is known as a weakness. It's known as a weakness for the Browns defense, which should lead to a lot of points for a motivated offense. The Browns, they can't hang. They can't hang with a Mahomes-led offense that's not turning the ball over, and it should lead to big games from Chris Jones, Frank Clark. I think the Chiefs win big. and cruise to the AFC Championship game. 42-24. 42-24. I just, that's where I see it going for this. Hey, listen, you want a playoff game? That's a step in the right direction. But not against Mahomes are you going to be turning this around. Next game that we have tomorrow is you have the Tampa Bay Bucs versus the Saints. And listen, it looks like you could say this year that Tom Brady is ageless. Tom Brady is ageless. And meanwhile, you could say that that the Saints are how this guy in in Breeze is even standing. Breeze just completely battered, bruised, ribs, ribs and everything. And they actually, believe it or not, the Bucs are coming in here as underdogs. Which I thought was weird. They're actually 3-point favorites. 3-point favorites are they? Do you listen? You could even call them Big Brother. Big Brother to Tampa Bay. And for what it's worth, Atlanta and Carolina, maybe Little Brother standing in the division. Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, and even Antonio Brown were all in. They were all brought in to help knock Drew Brees and the Saints down a peg in the NFC South hierarchy, right? As we enter Sunday, however, the Saints, they're still looked upon as being on top. Take this into consideration. Remember this, that twice the Bucs had the chance to rock the divisional boat, and twice they failed. Those were battles. This Sunday is what you could definitely refer to as the war. If expectations are met and Drew Brees retires after the season, beating New Orleans in 2021 just won't have the same feeling of satisfaction, I think, right? Losing to them will be even worse. And, but that's a discussion for a later date. As I'm actually watching here, the first 48. Man, I just love the first 48. I don't know about you guys. I do actually have a second channel, kind of get into the first 48 and filming locations, like TV stuff. It's called GRES, GRES. If you want to check it out and maybe subscribe, that would mean a whole lot to me. But if I'm looking at the Bucs and the Saints game here, it's the Bucs. They're looking to take that top spot. They just have one more chance to do it, right? And if they do, nobody will remember the 2 regular season losses, just the postseason win. So, Saints right now, 3-point favorites? to hand what would be Bruce Arians another loss, third loss on the season. Is that possible? Coming into this game, it would literally mean too that Sean Payton accounted for literally half of all of Tampa Bay defeats in 2020. One player who has become a nemesis for the Tampa Bay Bucs, Taylor Hill. He's come up with some big plays, some big plays, in big moments for his team. And it's much to that chagrin of the Bucs, I'm sure, and their supporters. Like I was reading somewhere that it seemed that odds makers expect Tampa Bay to have learned from like their previous experiences. They have an over-under right now for 29.5 yards for Hill. Of course, his presence on the week's injury reports could have also played a hand in this, right? So, if you're a Tampa Bay Buck fan, you should be happy to see that Hill's contained for under 30 yards of total offense, of course. You would also like to see, I think, Devin White. Devin White needs to get involved early and often, for this game to be a success for you guys. Early and often. It's a tough game to predict. I just don't see it. I just don't see this game being a blowout. If you're expecting a blowout, I don't think this game will be a blowout at all. I think it's going to be a very close game. A very close game. And how if you look at Drew Brees, how healed is he, even at all? If he's even fully healed at all. So, if you have to give a prediction, I think that Tom Brady throws game-winning touchdown to finally beat the Saints. I think that's what's going to come down to it. Look at it. In the last two, Tom Brady has combined for 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and an 0-2 record against Drew Brees. Right? Drew Brees and the Saints, they have a feisty defense in the NFL. Super Bowl bust, honestly, if you're a Saint fan. But Brady has been throwing this ball extremely well. And I think that will continue. Look, you have Antonio Brown quietly returned to form as far as outside receiver. That Bucs offense looks like it's finally hitting its stride. Close to the finish, but Tom Brady, TB12, heroics and all, will conquer, and they will take the game. It's going to be a close game. Let's see, 31-24. No, 30-24 is that game there versus the versus Bucs and the Saints game. Now, On to the Bills, who, quite honestly, the hype with Lamar Jackson, I do not get. Everyone loves Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson. There's only so much that you could do running, and if you're not able to get the job done running the ball with your feet, and you're not the best of throwers, then you're SOL, as they say. I just he reminds me of a Mike Vick and Lamar Jackson, and just didn't have it today, and they lost, and they got to deal with stupid Buffalo Bill fans in my fantasy league. So let's see what the Bills fans here, right? And being a Dolphin fan, that's the first comment that they make. Let's see. Here we go. I replied here, your scrub team faced the poor excuse of a quarterback. Wait till Mahomes comes a-knocking. Who's your running back? He replied, who's your daddy? I mean, so that is the extended mind of a Buffalo Bill fan. That's the mind that they have. Listen, the Bills suck. I mean, Western New York, living in New York, they don't even consider. We over here don't even consider Buffalo as being anything. Like, we don't even consider that a part of New York. We consider that just whatever. The women are ugly. They're all just fat, if I could use that word nicely. And the only good thing that they have are wings. And with that being said, even that is not even worth making the trip to Buffalo. I think back to a video as to why the Buffalo Bills suck, and I would like to play that video now, as just I think it's suitable and I think it's refreshing to play that video as to why the Buffalo Bills suck. And now, if you bear with me here, it's quite a popular video here in my YouTube career. Let's see, we pull it up here. It went on for quite a few minutes. Whoa, that's why I put Bush Bills suck. No. Buffalo Bills suck. Here we go. And I'll leave you with this 7-minute video as to a ramblings of a madman in my 6 years ago as to why the Buffalo Bills suck. And it still rings true today.
A revelation happened. Someone actually said that the Buffalo Bills are part of New York. And I said, who are the Buffalo Bills? I mean, with all due respect, the Buffalo Bills are less relevant than the New York Jets. And that's saying a lot, because the Jets suck. And the Buffalo Bills suck even more. Now, you also have the Giants, who suck. But the Buffalo Bills, as far as the state of New York, are on a extreme level of suckiness. And ladies and gentlemen, Miami is the team to root for, but it hasn't struck your mind yet, you Bills fans. That's why I am here to tell you that your team sucks. And no. Come out of, halftime. Ladies and gentlemen, a reveal. You have had 7 coaches to tell you that your team sucks. Ladies and gentlemen, but once again, Buffalo Bills suck. You have not made the playoffs since 99-2000 season. 99-2000. Since Marv Levy left, you have had 7 coaches. 7. Should I name them all for you to bring back those great memories? No, I will anyway. Wade Phillips, Greg Williams, Mike Mularkey, Dick Jurgen, Barry Fuel, Changeli, who were successful coordinators, not successful head coaches. Let the facts speak for themselves. And now you have Doug Marrone, who I'm crossing my fingers for you guys. No, I'm not. He sucks too. Let's not talk about your quarterbacks. My. Who am I kidding? I'm going to bring back some of your quarterbacks. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Trent Edwards, Brian Braun, ten quarterbacks since Zim Kelly, and all one common factor: they suck. J.P. Lostman, Kelly Holcomb, Drew Bledsoe. The list continues. How's that beer coming? Todd Collins, Alex Van Pelt, Rob Johnson, Doug Flutie, man. Or how about the time that you guys somehow lost to the Browns 6-3? In that game, if you recall, I don't blame you if you don't. Derek Anderson was 2 for 17 for 23 yards passing. 1 interception, 2.1. I said 2.1 quarterback rating. 2.1. And how about Aaron Maben and Mike Williams? Aaron Maben, I repeat that, Mike Williams. You traded Marshawn Lynch. Buffalo, your team sucks. Do you believe me? Or should I continue? You got Terrell Owens. How about your buddy Willis? How much he loved Buffalo. And I quote, from the great Willis McGahee. Coming from Miami, I was used to partying, going out, just having something to do every night. Restaurants, whatever. Willis McGahee. Okay. Going to Buffalo, it was hitting like a brick wall. I think what Willis was trying to say, it was like hitting a fucking brick wall. Like, damn. You can't go out, can't do anything. There's an Applebee's Fridays, and they just got a Dave and Buster's. And that's about it. And I'm like, what the question mark? You meant to say, what the fuck? And you know, the woman, quote, end quote, Willis McGahee. And the great Jim Kelly, who was arguably the franchise, he didn't even want to play for your team. Check out the footage when the Buffalo Bills selected Jim Kelly. Oh yeah, O.J. Simpson also played for you guys. Buffalo Bills suck. S-U-C-K. Suck. Ladies and gentlemen.
And there you have it. Buffalo Bills, they do suck, and that's that. There is really nothing else to say, so it all ends for Buffalo next week. It all ends. The fairy tale ends. Nighty-night, good night. Dobranoc, as we say in Polish. Anyway, let's get into a little bit of baseball, shall we? A little news coming down. The Yankees. I think this was of note, noteworthy. The Yankees, they recently signed Corey Klueber. Corey Klueber, give you the details of the deal. 1 year, $11 million deal. That's 1 year, $11 million deal. Listen, I like to move for the Yankees. All transparency, obviously. You are, I am a Yankee fan. So, a name that was relevant or that it was at its highest point about 2 years ago. And I was reading some of the comment boards, some of the comment sections as in regarding to Kluber. A lot of people are saying that he's, that he's, well past having a high upside. I think that's a big assumption, right? 2018 was only 2 years ago. Look at his numbers. Now, he's not likely to do that again, turning 35 in April. But I think if he is healthy, he might win, let's say, 12 to 16 games, and he could be quite valuable to a team that has a great offense to support him, right? His injury was not, and I don't think I'm mistaken, it wasn't to a primary rotator cuff muscle or elbow flexor or anything of that sorts. So his chances of a return, to health are better than other types of injuries, I would tell you. Listen, Kluber was special quite a few years ago. I would dare even tell you probably, best in the game. If he has a good year left in him, it will make him worth at least a couple of multiples of the $11 million that they got him for. Not high probability, but it's high upside. It's high upside, and obviously you won't know what happens until actual games start. In a 1 year contract, it's a 1 year contract, right? It eliminates nearly all the risk. 1 year deal. Honestly, I love these type of 1 year deals. if you regret rolling the dice on a player, you don't have to regret it the next season too. It's one and done. Adios, goodbye. And now the trade-off is, of course, you have to pay a little more. If it works out, you want to keep the guy. Now, speaking, just staying on the Yankees, and that's my thoughts on Kluber. I think that he still has the potential to kind of show you what this guy could do. It's plenty left, I think, for Kluber, and he's out there now. DJ LeMahieu, I honestly got to tell you, and again, full transparency that I am a Yankee fan. What they did, how they handled the DJ LeMahieu signing was brilliant. And in essence, I think what the DJ LeMahieu signing by the Yankees, what it does is it sets the market for guys like and for guys like George Springer and teams in the negotiations and what they do. When you look at it, right? When you look at this, and I was panicked as a Yankee fan, and that's something that never happens in Yankee land here. It's a January 17th. I'm like, where is the signing for LeMahieu? It's still not coming. So I think Brian Cashman is a genius. I give it up for Brian Cashman. What he did, he gave DJ LeMahieu an offer. And he said, okay, DJ, here's our offer. Shop it around. See what you're going to get. And I believe the most that LeMahieu got as far as an offer was from the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's follow this up. What did the Toronto Blue Jays offer DJ LeMahieu? Reports.
Here's a summary from Jays Journal. It is January 15th and a top MLB free agent has finally signed a contract. Shortly after the trade, John Heyman of MLB Network reported that the Blue Jays offered $78 for 4 years for LeMahieu, showing they meant business.
Okay, so there you go. The most that he got was $78 million. $78 million, 4 years. And I think what DJ LeMahieu was looking for was not so much the money, and the money does play a part of it, but he was looking for long term. So the Yankees go, okay, what did you got, 78? Okay, we're going to give you 6 years, $90 million. Done. And that contract takes him until the end of his baseball career. Brilliant move. And you got a guy that's, won the he's set. He's your star hitter. You're set. That's a brilliant move by Cashman. He played it well. And, us as Yankee fans, we were getting all panicked and all crazy, ready to jump off the deep end. And there you go. LeMahieu signed, sealed, and, delivered in LeMahieu. Brilliantly, and that was well played. And it takes LeMahieu until, I believe he's 36, 37, and that's his whole career right there. He does not have to play for any other team. It's a great move. Great move by the Yankees, and I like the move. It's very well done, and it's very well market friendly. He told me that this move would get done for 90 million. I tell you, you're crazy. I tell you, you're crazy. But good move. Good move. Jumping into UFC as we approach the 35-minute mark here, and hope you guys are doing well. Do please subscribe if you can. Want to get into some UFC. We had some UFC today, and if you follow this channel, if you look on this channel, I've done a few UFC, more than a few UFC videos. I love UFC, and I just want to go over some of the matches on the card here for you. I think the first match that kind of sticks out to me was Holiday, right? I loved Holiday in this fight. It was a showcase performance. Showcase performance. That was a striking clinic. Honestly, a striking clinic. Max put it on him, and he took it all. Props to both. Definitely, for sure. Now, personally, listen. Now, you could argue this, but we all have varying opinions. But I personally did not like the trash talk, right? Now I know the opponent for Max there was saying that he was going to bully him like a freshman scrubbed, like a freshman scrub. Beg your pardon. You might argue, listen, what he did there during that afterwards, after the match, you know, that's what happens when you call a championship caliber guy a scrub, right? Probably the best featherweight around in Holiday. And I know showboating, like for example, was a part of back in the day. Was a part of Silva's style, right? Which is why, to me, it was kind of odd, when Silva's fans acted, surprised, or like they seen a different side of Silva when he fought Weidman. But I don't know. And Qatar, listen, maybe Qatar should have kind of zipped his lip too, for what it's worth. But two wrongs don't make a right. But it was, again, an absolute clinic by Holiday, and give it up to this card from Abu Dhabi, right? This card from Abu Dhabi was actually pretty good. Pretty good for the UFC. And the UFC kind of um, needed this card. I also like the fight between Condit and Brown. That was a pretty good fight as well. Um, it was one of those fights, honestly, that you kind of that you hate to see lose. That you hate either one of them to see hate lose. But it was a good fight. Some old school action, entertaining. I think though, if I'm looking at the fight, I think that Brown was super gassed quickly. I think he was gassed quickly for Brown. Condit looked younger, but had lots of holes, right? And at this point, for me being a Condit fan, I do not want to see him get beaten badly by the young cats, by the young guys out there. Um, and Condit is now starting to rack up some wins, right? I personally, always had hope that he would win the welterweight championship, and I still hope he does. But but it's probably not going to happen at this point. You got some pretty good, some pretty good, excuse me, some pretty good wrestlers on top. But yeah, you're always waiting for him. Well, I was always waiting for him to get a comeback and get the strap. But he's had a long layoff, so now at this point, whether one would expect it or not, or whether if you expect it or not, it's kind of maybe a little bit far fetched. Want to tell you about something and just kind of add in my 2 cents for this hire. And this is because I am New York, and this is locally here. You hear about you hear about all the miserable Jet fans, and I did a video about Salah here as well, and you could find it in my videos that I uploaded. But I will tell you one thing though: the more I think about it, the more this has potential. As far as Salah goes, the more it has potential to to work. Well, let me rephrase that. The dude is jacked. The dude is jacked, right? So just by that sheer presence alone, okay, if you have nothing to look at, just take this in consideration. So maybe you Jet fans could feel a little bit better. When you think of Adam Gaze with the crazy eyes, that was a bad press conference. So when you think about Rex Ryan, who was actually a pretty good damn coach for the Jets for some time there, and then it was all ketchup stains and whatever, just messy dude. It's Rex Ryan. Um, just this guy's presence alone in Salah, I think I'm pronouncing it right, Salah, is the type of presence, right, where if you compare him, if you take him, compare him to another coach, and you don't even know anything about him at all, just by comparison at all, you know that your coach, the Jet coach, could kick um, the other coach's ass. Guaranteed. Dude looks dude looks ripped. A shiny bald head. I think very inspiring story too about him. I think that will come to light here further down the road here. I think it was the story. What happened is like he was working like an office job, from what I understand, and just going through the motions like every one of us do for the most part, a regular Joe Schmo. And 9/11 happened, and he couldn't get in touch with his brother. I think the story goes, and he thought that his brother had passed away. Luckily for him, his brother did not pass away. But from that moment, he realized, listen, you gotta live every moment as if it is your last. And he wasn't happy, so he decided to get into coaching and be a coach. And from what you see in San Francisco, he has his players. These players are going to run through the wall for him. Like, absolutely, they're willing to run through the wall, which I think is a phenomenal trait. Now he's got to put all of that together now. And I'm sure he's going to, surround himself with a good staff. I think what the talk is having the younger LaFleur be the offensive coordinator, which is, that could be great. That could be great. That could be great for you guys if you're a Jet fan. Wow. So and truth be told, I was worried for you Jet fans a little bit, because apparently the dude he left. He left, and he left New York without a contract. It went to, I guess they're saying that he went into Philly. Interviewed with Philly, and it looks like the Jets were finally able to seal the deal. So congratulations for the Jets. They actually were able to seal the deal and get the guy that they wanted to get, which was Saleh. So that's very very impressive. Did you guys hear about the news before I leave in passing here? I thought I just wanted to touch this because I didn't get a chance to touch on it. The Denver Broncos, George Patton, 6-year contract as the new general manager. He helped Minnesota acquire a league high 13 Pro Bowlers during the last 10 NFL drafts. What can you say? I think what my concern is the head coach and quarterback That's my concern. Most GMs get to hire their people, and and if him and Fangio uh, don't mesh well, then you're in deep trouble. You're in deep trouble. He needs a chance. What are you going to do with quarterback? Do you feel that Locke is still promising? Listen, is Locke the best quarterback? No, but no one full season. Uh, when you don't have a preseason warm up, and whereas that his offensive the Broncos offensive line was absolutely awful. Not to mention, uh, you lost your top receiver for the season after the second game. So there's a lot to work on um, in Denver, um, and with Patton. Remember, he's worked his way up from his start as a scouting intern. So he's a guy that's definitely worked his way up, and you'll see what he could do. That is it for this edition of On Tap. We're approaching the 55-minute mark. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Tell your friends, your family, your coworkers, and all that good stuff. We talk everything here about sports. Hit the notification bell that way you know when I go live. I hope all is well, guys, and I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon.